Hey all, it's me, Michael Anthony Giudicissi, and the author of Back to Billy trilogy. And since I'm taking a run through Lincoln County, I thought I would stop and show you a few of the sites that our hero Martin Teebs grew very used to in his time coming through Lincoln County. And we are here in the Valley of Fires right now, just outside of Carrizozo. And this was always kind of the jumping off point for Teebs. When he reached here, it felt like he was almost home. So we're in Lincoln now, and I'm going to show you a few of the sites that Martin would have seen. This one here is the Patron House Bed and Breakfast, which became Casa de Teebs Bed and Breakfast, and that didn't really end well for anybody. But Martin ultimately would buy this place and board it up and bar it up forever, because this seemed to be the central focus of all of his time travels. So right behind me is where Rosita's house used to be, and it's no longer there. There were two identical houses, one right next door to the other, and hers was the one closest to the road. And right now you can see it's the visitor center for the monument, and the house wasn't in good repair during Martin's last trip here, so it's no surprise that it didn't make it through. But it is kind of sad that where he and Rosita spent so many good times, and where probably Martin Jr. was conceived, just doesn't exist anymore. Essentially, right where that building is where Rosita's house was, her little hut, and then there was one next to it. And Martin would normally sneak up from the river, which is just down inside the trees there, because often he showed up and he wasn't armed, and so didn't have a lot of choice but to sneak around. Plus he was generally in his modern day clothes. So right here behind me is the kind of where it all started, the Tunstall store. From the porch right here is where Martin first met Billy and the Regulators. And we'll walk down to the corner, show you where Rosita came running out of during those first key moments. Porch looks a little different than it did back then. But not that much. Used to be a corral right over here. And then right out from the end of this house here, there used to be a little alleyway. And from that alleyway, Rosita came running out right on the side of that house. And Martin was right here in the street. And lo and behold, a love story was born. It's a little sad being back here knowing that they're all gone, but that's what history is. Across the street, that's Dolan's house, and it's for sale. And don't buy it. He doesn't deserve it. So you can see what that is. This is where the McSween house was, and where the 5-day battle took place. And just out in front of me here is regrettably where Alex met his fate, because Martin couldn't do a very good job of defending him. It's right in that space back there. Now, to be fair, I think Martin came out expecting to surrender, and McSween told him he would. Whatever his idea was at the last minute, that somehow Martin was going to be able to shoot his way past the cavalry and I don't know how many Dolan men. Kind of silly. But it didn't work. But again, down to the river and the trees, to the creek, Martin made his way all the way east across town, joined up with Billy and the boys, and then rode out for San Patricio. A lot of memories around here. So this building should be familiar to everybody. It's the old courthouse and the Murphy Dolan store. And in fact, Martin, when he was trying to get back to find Junior in the 1877 book, he walked all the way up to this far western edge of town, and he sat down right here on this porch trying to figure out what to do next. He was ready to mail it in, and a pickup truck came from down the road, and lo and behold, it was old Steve from Capitan. And by the time Steve flipped a U-turn and drove out, Martin had a unfamiliar but well-known guest over his left shoulder, John Tunstall. So, neat place to see. This is where Billy shot his way out of twice. And there's one other important event that took place here, and that was the Outhouse Scene. Remember that? Yeah, let me take you back there. So now we're behind the old courthouse. And you'll see from here, if I can get it. Gosh dang it, it's easier to say than do. J.W. Bell died right here. But the outhouse that Martin was forced to hide in was just back there off my shoulder. In fact, you can see the permanent one now, but back in the day, there was one maybe 20 yards closer. And all that was back here were just trees. That's it. No buildings, no cars, obviously. And so, while Martin was there hiding a pistol, out of the door here comes Ollinger. Martin spies him as he cracks open the door to the outhouse, and he's got no place to go. You can see it's wide open here. So, it's not like he could have run out, and he was certainly well known as a compatriot of the regulators by Ollinger, so he had no choice but to jump down in the hole. And if you don't know what happened, well, you'll have to read about it, but it wasn't fun. Once Ollinger made his way out of the outhouse and back in the courtroom, Martin sprinted fast as he could along the tree line here, back across the road. You can see that little dirt path there, straight back that way toward the Bonito Creek, and jumped in as fast as he could, threw out all of his clothes, and eventually made his way all the way back along the river to Rosita's house, where she gave him a bath and dinner and a lot more. So hope you enjoyed our little tour of Martin Teebs' Lincoln. And if you'd like to order one or all of the books, by all means, do so at www.mankindpro.com. Thanks. And of course, you don't want to forget the Capitan convenience store. It seemed like every time Martin came down this way, old Steve from Capitan was waiting for him. Martin usually park over on the gravel there. try to get away right quick, but he never could. So that concludes your tour of Martin Teebs, Lincoln County, New Mexico. See you.